Wanted to make a video about this for a while. So the idea is that um, 10 years ago, we were talking about like, can you just like change your tags and all that stuff client side for SPA and just like expect kind of like Google to respect that and all that stuff. And 10 years ago, it was like, yes, you can. Google will run JavaScript. They will like detect if you're going to a different page. We've been actually like using this for kind of like our company, and it was like working fine. It wasn't working great, but it was working fine. And there is like a kind of like a similar thing not that long ago, like 3 years ago, where Burton goes into like, is it safe to use web components that like the client side one, right? That like kind of like SPA style, because I think there was like a bug in Google where they didn't render it correctly or like didn't show you that they rendered it correctly and something like that. But the idea is that like it will actually kind of like it was fixed and all that stuff, and like Google will run your JavaScript, will run your web components and all that stuff. So it's like for SEO purposes, like everyone was kind of like excited to say like, oh, we kind of like done with that now, we don't have to worry about server side rendering, Google will have us covered. So this is an example of like a website. They just like redid their docs, and this website looks like it was created like 10 years ago. So it was a great opportunity for me to like to showcase this. So the idea is that like this is a SPA. If you turn off JavaScript, it's a completely blank page, and then you kind of like Google, then you think that what's SEO means in like 2026, right? Like it means that your agents can do something with it, right? Your chat GPT, whatever. So what is the demo that like I can like give to everyone is like, hey, go to this SPA. You see the like the phone number on this page, like ask your agent to say what's the phone number, and it will generate a new one. It won't even tell you that's like, hey, sorry, I might not have access to it. It will just create a random one. And so this is a similar demo where it's like, hey, I'm on this page, can you explain me kind of like uh, what is the payload of this thing and whatnot, right? And like that's the payload. And it just went and tried to imagine what the payload could be, right? Because like ChatGPT, it has a web search, right? And if you have access to the paid account, which I did for a while, right? Like you can have a like a browser use tool, right? So like it can just go to that page and see what's happening on the page, but that's not going to be the default, right? The default is just is going to search that page, it's going to see that it's a completely blank page, and it's just going to guess stuff. It's just going to make stuff up, right? If this page was SSR, like this would have been part of the HTML that ChatGPT would have seen, and the chances of it just making stuff up would have been much lower, right? So it's like, is it true that like Google kind of like solved SEO for SPAs, right? Solved SEO for like web components, like completely client-side applications and all that stuff. It's like, yes, true, right? Like they kind of like solved it 10 years ago. Will you get benefits from still doing SSR, especially if you're writing a docs website that like you want people to like not guess, but actually kind of like have a way to work with it and all that stuff, right? I guess given the like the tailwind drama, maybe you want to go the opposite way, right? Maybe you want it to be like your like AI experience. Maybe you want it to be bad so that people will go to your website. But I don't think this was the intention of like whoever was doing it. I think they just like said, hey, I don't know, CLI tool or like a cursor, hey, just create me a website, and like by default all of them will just use Vite and React, and you get this thing where it's like the client side navigation routing is done through the hash string, right? That's like, this is so from like 10 years ago. So it like made me think about this 10 years old Stack Overflow question.